The big dance now down to the Final Four. Hi again, everybody. Thanks for staying up late with us, and welcome to Sports Overtime. The Michigan Wolverines needed a huge comeback to get into the Elite Eight, but not to get past it. Michigan's magical season and tournament run continuing with a series of early runs against the Florida Gators today that saw U of M score the first 13 points of the game and build leads of 23-5, 35-15, and 41-17 en route to a 79-59 win over the Gators, and it wasn't even that close. And we showed you the highlights just a few minutes ago on 24-hour News 8 at 11. Unfortunately, CBS restrictions prevent us from showing them to you here again on Sports Overtime. But I can tell you, Nick Stauskas led the way with 22 after going 6 for 6 from beyond the arc. Trey Burke and Mitch McGarry also big once again. And the top seed overall in the tournament will be joining them there in Atlanta. Louisville pulling away from Duke in the second half to win the Midwest Regional Final despite a gruesome injury that saw Kevin Ware go down with a compound fracture of his lower right leg. Russ Smith leading the way, by the way, for the Cards with a game-high 23 points. So 2.5 weeks and 64 games later, the field is now down to the Final Four. It will be Louisville, the top seed overall in the tournament, and Wichita State, a 9 seed in the semifinal opener. That game will take place in Atlanta, and tip-off has now been scheduled for 6:09. Of course, Michigan will then meet Syracuse in the nightcap in the second half of the Final Four. Great matchup of offense versus defense. The Wolverines and the Orange tentatively scheduled to tip it off at 8:49. 24-hour News 8's Casey Jones has been on the road with the Wolverines for the past 2 weeks and joins us now one final time from Arlington, Texas, after getting down on the court and seeing the celebration firsthand. Case?
Well, to think that Michigan's season was just one long 30-foot Trey Burke three-point miss away from ending just a couple days ago to now being in the Final Four after a convincing win today is absolutely incredible. But the journey for the Michigan Wolverines has been long, it's been grueling, and it's been tested. Throughout the season, Michigan was criticized for being too young or too soft, and now with just 2 games remaining to the college basketball season, they're one of 4 teams standing.
You know, I've only cut down nets, I believe, one time before in those sexual championship in high school. And just being up on that ladder in front of everybody, all our fans, all my teammates, it's just a great feeling, you know, and just indescribable right now.
That's why I came here. I came here to win. And, I mean, Trey's done a tremendous job, Tim and all the other captains on the team, but just getting us closer together as a family. And that's the only reason why we gotten this far, because we had such a tightly bond. But to, I guess, get back on that podium where Michigan is like a highly ranked team, top 5 team, is great for us and the university to show that we're going to be there. We're going to be one of the toughest teams we play all year, and we're just going to fight to the end.
We were definitely confident after the Kansas win. You know, a lot of people expected us to lose, you know, by the way we came back and won in overtime, but we knew that Florida was a good team too. You know, we knew that they were capable of beating us, and they've beaten some really good teams this year, so that's why we tried to come out with high intensity and try to, you know, come out with the chip on our shoulder.
You always grow up dreaming about trying to be a college basketball player and get into this stage. And with the group of guys that we have, you know, none of this was an individual person to get us here. It was a team effort, and you know, everybody just bought in.
It definitely means a lot just to be able to get here with this team. You know, a lot of people doubted us. A lot of people said we were too young, too soft, not tough enough. And we used that as motivation. We used that and made sure that we played with a chip on our shoulder over the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Celebrate this, you know. You got to celebrate the journey, because once we get to the end, you know, it's over. You know, you got to celebrate it going through. So definitely celebrate it, but not get distracted.
Trey, you dreamed about this day growing up, and then you're up there cutting down the nets. Is it everything you dreamed of?
It's definitely everything I dreamed of. You know, I watched March Madness since I was a little kid, and it's definitely bittersweet to be able to get up there and cut down the nets and had the opportunity to go to Atlanta. So we're definitely accomplished. We're definitely honored, and we have more work to do.
Actually, I have to write a 7-page paper to do tomorrow. I'm almost done. Not really, but don't tell anybody.
Better to write that paper if you're Mitch McGarry on a long plane ride home after a win sending you into the Final Four than after a loss that would have ended the season. But nonetheless, it's back to the drawing board Monday morning for the Michigan Wolverines. Syracuse Orangemen await them Saturday in Atlanta in the Final Four. We will, of course, be there to cover the entire Wolverine journey. Inside Cowboy Stadium, Casey Jones, Sports Overtime.
All right, thanks, Case. Great job. Have a safe flight home. Now, our Tournament All Access coverage will continue at the Final Four in Atlanta. Jack Doles will be making the trip with the Wolverines, and we'll have live reports beginning later this week and throughout the rest of the tournament until the NCAA championship game 1 week from tomorrow.